Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're back for more Apothecary Diaries and we're very happy to be doing so. We're going to do a vibe check on episode 6. If episode 6 seems like it's ending what we have going on right here right now, then we're probably going to leave it at episode 6 and just kind of skedaddle out of here. Because I'm a bit on the tired side, but shit happens. We can do number 7 if the need arises, if I feel like it is necessary to do so. So yeah, I guess that's the vibe here today. We're going to see how we go. I've gotten no information from anybody about stopping points or anything, so I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Flying solo, flying blind. And again, would appreciate any extra knowledge of where good stopping points are for the show, of course. Without any further ado, let's get into the comments on the latest upload, of course, episodes 4 and 5. With a couple comments here from Sal and one from Kelvin. Starting here with Sal's first comment, Mau Mau teaching Lifa what is seemingly a boob job and then having it described as a secret technique is kind of funny. Nowadays it's basic, but back then it would have been this new exciting thing. I didn't get this vibe. I don't know. I thought it was more of like a tassel type situation, which again, somewhat exotic, I would think. More exotic than just a boob job. I don't know. You should use your assets however you see fit. That's the way I see that particular situation playing out. But yeah, what were the tassels then? They were playing with some tassels. I don't know. You can do a boob job with tassels. Like, I'm not complaining. Anyway. Let's get our minds out of the gutter here for a moment. It is kind of funny, and you describe it as somewhat of a non sequitur out of episode 4, right? This episode that's quite emotional and poignant at points, and then, ends on essentially a dirty joke. Even reinforcing said dirty joke once you go back to the Jade Pavilion and start talking with Gyokyo. She's like, why haven't I seen the Emperor lately? That's probably why. The next comment here from Sal goes into a little bit more of the makeup situation. I asked the question, why didn't anybody touch her face? Why was Mau Mau the first one to notice the makeup? Sal's particular interpretation here is that you're not really allowed to touch the Emperor's concubines. Even more basic, not allowed to touch a higher ranking person within the kind of rear palace there. That seems like something that would go on back in the day. Very traditionalist. I can see how that kind of came to effect. So you would have the one person that's allowed to apply makeup. That would be that lady from last week. And nobody else there's no checks and balances there. They can kind of just do whatever they want. Again, if she's the highest ranking lady in waiting as well, then, you can't really defy her either. Anyway, it's an interesting one for sure. Last comment here from Kelvin, of course, talking about that episode 4 slap, which, yes, did hit with some impact. Very quickly to the ground she went. It really emphasized that impact, I think. Again, along with a lot of the really great character animation in episode 4, that's another really great example of it. The thud there, and the feeling of it conveyed through the animation, of course. So yeah, that's the YouTube comments for this week, of course. If you're a patron and you're watching this on Patreon, don't forget that you do have access, and if you want to tell me anything about the show, you have the capacity to do so. So yeah, I'm going to do the Patreon shout-out now, actually, as well, and we'll get those names up and running, shall we? A few new people here as well, courtesy of Monogatari, which we like as well, so I won't be used to saying the same names over and over again, which is cool. But again, as always, $6, you can be that 1 week ahead. Many people have done this, up to and including Annie Gregg, Mickey Babbers, Trails++, Anders Harlan, Backslash, Bobbin, Turbo Ribby, Sinoren, Domobot, Ed, Emily A, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fried Rice, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Gus N, Heath, Hex, Ika, Yako Yavanen, Joran, Caitlin at 10,000, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Lou, Mish, Mistake L. Chen, Nailu, Parnik, Pencil Shop 333, Pseudonym Van Dyke, Ronlad BNK, Saint Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Surrogate Corpse, Without a Net, Zan Echo, Zach, Binchi, Hans Peter, Marsh, Funny Fat Guy, Ramen Boy, and Rantiki. So thank you to all those people for giving me money here, of course. I like the money. Now, to the show at hand, there was a plot. There was a plot at play last week. Something espionage-y, something we're using various colored powders, either to send messages between people or to explode and do something or poison somebody or apothecary stuff. I don't know. Something is happening, and we're not quite clued in yet, and people are in danger, and somebody with a mouth is behind it because their mouth was in the shadow. So that narrows it down. Only people with mouths are the people that we should suspect here today. The other thing, of course, would be the emotional kind of end of episode 5 as well. Kind of Jinchi coming to the realization of, I guess, the freckles on Mao Mao's face, the audience being clued into that as well. Kind of that reversal of the use of makeup as well as a deterrent rather than anything else, right? I'm going to make myself look purposely more ugly so I don't catch the view of these guys. Yeah, and again, how that kind of is so counter to the culture that exists within the Rear Palace and the culture that Jinchi has come to, I guess, personify within himself. Yeah, that last scene was very, very good, and I yapped about it for quite a long time, so shoutouts to that. Show good, by the way, show very good. And again, really hitting home those themes every single time that I watch an episode. So yeah, let's jump in and find out more, shall we? I think that's the best way to go. Discord if you want to talk to me about the show some more. I love to get messages on Discord. Makes my day, of course. Subscribe, like the video. Let's jump in episode 6. Let's do it. Let's skedaddle. Let's go. You know what I love about the Apothecary Diaries? They keep a tight schedule, and I can really, respect that from an anime. 22 minutes and 50 seconds, once again, on this episode. It's amazing the consistency there. It's incredible. Probably has to do with the TV slot, if I'm going to be completely honest. But hey, it's nice for me. It means I can plan these things out pretty well, I think. I didn't explain before, but I'm going to do both these episodes here today and then come back tomorrow and do some analysis, the same way I have been doing it. It seems to have been working and the videos have been getting out relatively on time. At least they're not getting delayed by days. They're only getting delayed by half a day. Either way, stop yapping. Picture in the description below, just using the subs please version. And yeah, let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. And we're here, and I'm recording, which is always good as well. It's very bright in the background there. It always happens at a certain time of day. It really annoys me. I want to, just do that and stop it. But alas, it's not happening here today for me. It's just that certain time of day. Have to record in the mornings. I work in the afternoons. Shit happens. Alright, what's Mao Mao doing? She's looking all dolled up at this portion in the show. And again, this opening now makes a lot more sense. But it's also a fun reversal. You think oh yeah, she's hiding her freckles when she goes, like that. Not really. She's just taking them off. Gives a different meaning to the flower blooming as well. That poison side of it and everything else in between. The stuff I keep talking about every single time the opening plays. I'm interested to see if we have another opening. I don't know if people told me. I may have forgotten. But it is 24 episodes. Generally 2 cores, maybe 2 openings. We'll see. And there is going to be a season 2. As well, so we're not finishing the story by the end of 24 here. Hello, flower. This was almost looked like a daisy or something. Oh, okay. The little girl, I forgot her name. Yeah, these things always look so glamorous until you remember that it's in autumn. Well, that's very well animated. The Emperor's just kind of doing nothing most of the time. What's his deal? What's the go there? Who was that with a baby? Okay, hello. Indeed. Sup? Is this where we're forced to watch from? I said it seemed shonen-esque. They're going to do battle. Yeah, what is that? What does that word mean? How old? Okay, very young. Gotcha. The Emperor's younger brother. Oh. Huh. Too sick, you say? Okay. Cat fight, let's go. Beat their ass. Fist fight them. You mean the ones that were incompetent? What ugly girl? I think I look quite pretty here today. Oh, the voice acting there's great. She's a fucking hothead. What? Hey, yo, what the fuck? You're insane. Yeah, she was trying to banter, but she went off the deep end. What's this fucking banter show? What is going on? Of course I am. Of course it is. I just took Jinchi's breath away. They always feel so sorry for her. What an angel. A little bit. But it's nice that they like you. We'll take that. We'll take that most days. Okay, more drama. Now these guys are fighting. Virtuous and pure. 35. It makes sense. What? What do you mean? I agree. What the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna need to fucking look at that later on. Uh, strange. Whoa, 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 what? Okay, I'm happy I had the diagram there. What the fuck? Hey, yo, that old emperor was a fucking weirdo. What the fuck? Okay, sure. Again, now you're being annoying. Sure. Mm-hmm. Huh. No, she wants to fight. It's probably why she doesn't like you very much. I'll help you guys. I got spare pocket warmers. Where's the baby? Please tell me you didn't put the baby on the ground and then, like, baby's day out style, it's wreaking havoc. I hope not. Yeah, where? Anyway, whatever. Forget about the baby. It's fine. Oh, a little blush. Become interested. Look in your hair. There's a hidden meaning. Figure it out. Who the fuck are you? I've already got one. He's on his tippy toes. Hello, Lihaku. He seems jolly. Golden Retriever vibes. Oh, hello, Lady Lifa. Oh. She's getting everyone's favor. What do you mean, Lifa-sama? She's the one that nursed me back to health. Of course I want her. Of course she won't. She's the belle of the ball. Alright, what else is going on in this party? Anything? She's collecting them like gym badges. Oh. So he's military, is he? Glittering eunuch. Yeah. Oh. Alcohol. You love alcohol, I remember. That looks amazing. I forgot you were also the food taster. Good point. Um, what am I looking at? Well, yeah, you have that resistance or whatever. Alright, you're a weirdo. Where, like, everyone else is terrified. Oh, this was the one. Yeah. This was the one from the end of last episode. Interesting. Yeah? So was it to spite you? Yeah. Okay. And she hates fish. How about you? What are you doing? Mischievous? Yeah. What's in that shit? Give me some. Maybe don't give me some. Bro's getting these rocks off, watching lips. Alright, sure. Interesting. It only was a matter of time until an actual poisoning occurred, I guess. The lipstick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not the point. You're a freak. What is this? Hey, yo. No, I'm not giving you the poison. What are you talking about? Why would you try the poison that she said was. Yeah, I agree. Kind of minister. Oh, I keep it in my bra. Yeah, who gave him that? Oh my god. He cares about you. He's turning on the seriousness. Okay. Interesting. I hate throwing up. She's amazing. I could never. Who? Huh. Okay. Well, it was her taster that was the one that had the wicked smile. What are you doing? Some kind of rash. Oh, she's like literally allergic. Yeah, that's an allergic reaction. Okay, one to remember maybe. What is buckwheat? That's very interesting knowledge to be putting out in the open. I don't really want to talk about this in front of the guy I like. Oh. Oh. That would imply some things about who's behind you, right? Anaphylaxis, of course. No, but who poisoned Gyokyo, though? Wait, so somebody knew you were allergic and swapped your dish as well? Okay. But who's responsible? I guess we'll find out. It certainly can be deadly. Yeah. Okay, Mau Mau, you're kind of scary. I really like Mau Mau as a protagonist. The full spectrum of human emotion. Really and truly. No. Come back. Was the target Lishu? Your Gyokyo's taster and it was poison. Yeah, I want to connect it to this as well. So we're still looking for burns on the arms. Well, okay, that. I'm very confused. I thought we were going to get closure within one episode, or at least two. I feel like this is a long running thing. This may be the thing for this core of the show almost. Huh. Well, honestly, I'll do one more because I don't think that was a particularly substantial episode. Like, the things happened in it. Mostly it was characterized from comedic scenes earlier in the show between the ladies in waiting. Um, the tasting scene was really good. Love the zoom in on the lips and all that kind of stuff. The hairpins are interesting as well. A lot of people recognize Mau Mau's talents and want to use her, and so forth. Contrast between using somebody for their talents and using people for other things as well. People being a means to an end within the rear palace. Anyway, you know what I'm saying there, I think. It was good though. It was good. It was just felt very serialized, very a part of the larger narrative. It made me more intrigued to learn more, but only really that. Mau Mau's still doing the Mau Mau thing where she's like, no, I mustn't be involved. Which again, she needs a reason to become involved, I think. Next time on. Interesting. Seems like we're going in a similar area. Homecoming? She's allowed home? Mau Mau's going home. I didn't know that she was allowed to do that. I thought that maybe once she gets to a certain level of status, they allow her a little bit more freedom in that regard. Either way, I think we're going to jump straight into episode 7. Because again, if we're going home, that is lore, and I love me some lore, and it'll be a little bit more substantial and make for a better upload, in my opinion. So let's go and get that episode 7 up and running, shall we? Rightio, episode 7, up there ready to go, of course. 22 minutes and 50 seconds. Love that from you, Apothecary Diaries, of course. Picture and pitch in the description below. Subs please version. Let's do this thing. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Indeed. Yeah, I don't know who's responsible. I mean, okay, if somebody is targeting, I think it's Lishu is her name, the little girl, it would make sense that it would maybe be the older lady, the 35-year-old, the pure consort, the one that I said was evil. It'd be very funny if it was just Lifa, and she's just like, I'm evil again. No, she had a whole redemptive episode. It was episode 4. It'd be weird if you were responsible, let's say. Gyokyo herself? Knowledgeable of Mau Mau's condition? That she's resistant to poison and so forth, actually likes it at certain points, so could be poisoning her own tester to take her out as a target. Like, it can't be Gyokyo because she was poisoned as well. That's very Danganronpa. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing there. That may be a meth theory. I don't know who else would be responsible. I feel like the pure consort is a bit of a red herring at the moment. Okay, we're back with the apothecary dad guy. Yeah, dad. She's adorable as a child. She can definitely do the voice as well. Homecoming. Yeah. I wonder. I haven't slept till noon in ages. One of these days, though. Yeah, gotta put on my little freckles. I like the baby. I don't know. I put him to work. That's my guy Gao Shun. He's got my heart. I like the guy. I'm gonna be honest. Sparkly-eyed. uh, very talented. What? Yeah. Oh, look at this fucking investigator shit. Let's go. Oh. So it's really, really like foolproof evidence. Or not. So she swapped it and didn't know it was poison? Jinshi's gonna fucking jump out somewhere. He sent Gao Shun in as a sleeper agent. Hmm. Huh. Yeah, okay. The cold came from inside the house? That's terrible. Oh, okay, I see what happened. Gotcha. This is quite confusing. It is weird, but I thought that she would maybe forced into it. I see. Well, she wasn't responsible for the poisoning. So you wanted to save her ass. Huh. Is there more to that, maybe? You're a freak, though. He's stinking up the joint, like me. I don't care about you. True status? Special individuals. Who is Jinshi? Who is bro? Or how is bro important to some other more important bro? I got 3. Oh, she loves it. Oh yeah, you don't know yet. I really like the Leaf on one now. Oh, shout out the Hawks. Go Hawthorn. 4? Oh yeah, the necklace, sure, from Gyokyo. Yeah, I don't want to go with bro. Oh yeah, you did mention it's only relevant from a man, right? Oh yeah, this guy. The one that's a freak. That was very funny. This guy's a fuckboy. I like that. That's so funny. Yes, completely correct. Oh, no. Ah! So you go to the fucking whorehouse, and I'm gonna go see my family. We love Python, I remember her. Alright, we got him. We cooked his ass. Let's go. He is down horrendous? Alright, we got him. Because it's not what you think. You misunderstand. Yeah, Jinshu. It is very funny. Oh no. $3 is pretty nice. Hop, skip, and a jump. Oh, he's so excited. Ooh, much like realty. Yeah, it's I think it's the same audio cue as well as the intro of the show. What is it, like 11:30? You gotta wait until a little bit later in the day before it starts popping off. Granny uppercut. Why does she hate you? Do you work out? Oh. I got kidnapped? Sorry. Might be. She's a hard ass, holy shit. Not really. I think the implication there is that Pyron likes big muscles, which is funny. Class divide, very cool. Yeah? How you doing, big dog? Papa? More than a while. 10 months? Oh, literally for your freckles, huh? That's ironic. Okay, I think Dad likes it. Sleeping in your own bed doesn't look as comfortable, but it always is. Yeah? Thoughts? Anything? Why would you say such a thing? Does he have some history there, or potentially somebody that he was related with? Something that Mao Mao particularly isn't aware of. Yeah, okay, that felt, and again, very, what's the word? Serialized again. Felt very like the next step in the chapter, and maybe we don't have good stopping points here for a while. Maybe that's why people neglected to tell me anything. I don't know. Um, I think the way that Mao Mao manipulated a way out of the Rear Palace, at least temporarily, is pretty interesting. I like that, as well as the So let's talk about what happened now as well with the poisoning. So, Lishu, I believe her name is the little girl. Her ladies in waiting don't like her very much and understand that she has an allergy. So they're trying to troll her by taking somebody else's dish, which had fish in it, and giving it to her, right? Inadvertently, they swapped the meals to the point where the poison went to the wrong person. So the original target of the poison was Lishu, right? In the swapping, you inadvertently poisoned her as well. Maybe you didn't know about it? No, you didn't know about it. But then that means you didn't know about the first poisoning. You inadvertently poisoned Gyokyo. Interesting. What the fuck is happening? Is there a case at the Verdigris house? Yo! Okay, I'm excited for next week. Let's go. Alright, same as always, so I'll see you tomorrow for a little bit of analysis on those 2 episodes. Again, thoroughly enjoyable, really invested in the mysteries and trying to figure out who's responsible for what and so forth, which is a good sign. Yeah, it's a very pretty show. Obviously not as pretty as episode 4, but not many things are. It's just good. It was a good 2 weeks, or 2 weeks. It was good 2 episodes this week. And yeah, again, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about them in more detail. So yeah, I'll catch you then. And we're back. It's the next day. We've seen a couple more episodes of Apothecary Diaries, and I guess it really feels like the show... These were like tempo episodes, if you know what I mean, right? So obviously 4's the standout thus far. I think that's not... that's pretty obvious. The rest are just kind of working us into this bigger mystery that's going on. We still haven't discovered what the go is with the wooden tablets. We still haven't discovered what that plan even was. Who was targeting? I think it was Lishu, that consort. Who was targeting her in particular? Right? We haven't closed off any of these loops, and it seems like this may be a core one type thing. It may be a larger plot that has many threads that Jinchi is, he's associated with it and he keeps bringing it up and he keeps, poking at Mao Mao to see if she wants to say anything about it. But we don't have any closure yet, and that's a new thing for the show. And we're just kind of maintaining this tempo, maintaining this mystery, and not really closing any loops. I don't mind it for this kind of show, but it means that I need to continue to think about certain things and continue to remember certain things into subsequent weeks, right? Which is where I may fall a little bit flat on things. I don't know if it's the type of thing where I need to start making notes and, maybe they'll call back to it in nice ways. Maybe you guys will help me with that via YouTube comments and so forth. But yeah, I'm just a little bit worried, we'll say. I'm a little bit worried for me, not the show. The show's doing nothing wrong. It's just that I tend to forget things because I'm not very smart like that. But one thing I wanted to talk about, just because I don't really have much more overall stuff to talk about, maybe Mao Mao returning home, but that's neither here nor there. I just think it's really refreshing as a setting for an anime, right? So many anime are modern day, star younger children, set in a high school, all that kind of stuff, right? Even some of the ones I really like, obviously. That's, it's par for the course. It's meeting demographic demands of what people like to see, For better or for worse, anime fans like to see high school shows. So, I just think this setting's really refreshing. I've never seen something set in the Chinese court like this before. The character designs as a result are really interesting, along with just the colors of them and the floral designs and all that kind of stuff. That's brilliant. The architecture, just the general tone of it all, it really feels like I'm transported to somewhere else. And again, that's not something you get every day, and I think it's worthy of praise. From a production standpoint, getting that stuff across is really quite spectacular. I'm really, really enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, things did occur in episodes 6 and 7, of course, and I will go through them here. Specifically, this poisoning. Now I know what specifically is going on here at the garden party. It becomes a little bit more obvious to spot and who's doing what and what's doing where and that kind of thing. So if we go to the end of episode 5, there was the smile. That smile was evidently from Li Shu's little friend, right? Her taster, her lady-in-waiting, right? And she was only swapping those dishes, of course, to spite her own consort, right? I think that's how it's supposed to go. Maybe specifically not that lady-in-waiting, but a different lady-in-waiting conspiring against Li Shu, because we talk about that in the next episode. Anyway, we'll get there. Let's jump into the episode, shall we? Let's do that. We open the episode on this flower here, and from the next kind of thing here, you would imagine that this flower is representative of Li Shu. I don't know which specific flower that is. I said it looked like a little daisy or something. Let me try and see if I can find something. I'm here on wikipedia.com. You can see that there. That looks like a daisy. That's very similar to the flower in question, if we go back slightly. I think, at least a little bit. And they said faith for that one, I think. Faith. I don't see how faith has much to do with it, but I digress. Maybe there's a different meaning. Alright, I'm reading a different blog here. Coincidentally, it's about a silent voice, which is cool. Let's give credit. Who wrote this? Do you have a name? Is it Talia Emily? I would imagine so. This seems pretty well written, and I like flower language stuff, so sure. We say here, daisies have been used in other anime, blah, 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 symbolize purity and return to innocence. Now, that would kind of fit a childlike character a little bit more. I think innocent. Purity's a weird one there as well, but we've already talked about that with regards to Utana. Interesting, sure. Either way, I got to start paying attention to these opening scenes, especially when they're introducing new concepts, because they're pretty telling, right? This one is literally like a group of the ladies-in-waiting of Li Shu saying how, she's so picky when it comes to food, it's not like it's going to kill her, being generally dismissive of her, probably think that she's a little bit of a brat. And again, it's implied that she can hear them right now, so this isn't exactly a surprise. And as we see here, the flowers are also adorning either side. We're quickly out of that small opening sequence into the garden party proper. It's very cold, it's late autumn, they have the hand warmers, but they're not quite doing the job, and they're kind of hustled around looked like a little fire grate or something. It looked almost like a grill, but it's probably not used for cooking, let's be real. It's very cold, and they're just kind of chilling. This episode starts, of course, with an elaborate dance sequence as well, which I thought was quite nice. Even in the wides, there's a lot of detail there, which is good. This wide in general looks kind of dead, but I think that's on purpose. It looks very sanitized, I guess you would say. So you had a name, which was like an official name, but you're the Emperor's mother, essentially, right? This is Gyokyo's child, I would believe, Gyokyo's daughter. And you're just nursing her because, I don't know, it's essentially grandma nursing, right? Something which Mao Mao picks up on very quickly here is that the arrangement of the different consorts here, it seems to, instill a rivalry between them. I said before, even the directing of the show instilled this, I thought, very shonen-esque, a lot of rival shots, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's just, again, it's underlying a lot of the main themes. Why is there even competition for this? Why does the Emperor sit on top of everybody? Blah, 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 blah. Sexism. You know what I mean. That's the name. Empress Dowager? Dowager? I don't know. Emperor's mum. Let's go with that, sure. And of course, this lady in particular, who is now a grandmother, looks not that old. You would imagine in her 30s, probably, something like that. Because she had, and we don't even say here, the Emperor when she was very, very young. It seems like this thing about young brides, child brides, isn't exactly a new thing. And hey, it gets even sketchier as we continue here and learn a little bit more about Li Shu's past. We also imply here that the Emperor has a younger brother, but he is often sickly and hasn't made an appearance. However, he was here until a few moments ago, though. That's an intriguing detail. Keep that one in the back pocket. If there was a plot at play, the Emperor's brother would be a very obvious suspect, right? I guess we need to have a look at the character design and so forth. What was the other big question mark? It was Jinshi's hairpin, right? The new one that he got. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't know if that's linked, but hey, we know that the Emperor's brother was at this party. Not cited by Mao Mao, but he was here. I thought this episode in particular was characterized with a lot of this stuff, just kind of joking around with the ladies-in-waiting. Essentially, Lady Lifa's ladies-in-waiting here, they haven't really gotten the memo to be, like, nice people and not be mean. So they continue to, pick on us. Oh, you guys aren't very pretty or whatever. Just absolute base level bullshit, who cares? In particular, they say that Mao Mao and her appearance really detracts from Lady Gyokyo or whatever. Basically, they're calling her ugly. It's like, oh, well, did they forget about my time at the, Crystal Pavilion, where I was putting on the moves and that kind of thing? Literally, cabedon, and then putting her in her place. Like, if there's one person you don't want to mess with, it's the person that knows how to poison you. Like, that's my thought on the situation, right? She was trying to banter and took it too far. I think she implied that she was going to do nasty things to her body, which is, sure, your prerogative, I guess. And yeah, it was banter. Just chill out. However, we notice that Mao Mao is still in the background and still threatens to do a very similar thing to us, which gets us to stop the bullying almost immediately. It's good to have a little bit of levity to break up the scenes, I guess. I'm also happy that it wasn't just they called Mao Mao ugly and then she just showed off her face without freckles again, and then it's like, oh, she's actually beautiful, and it's like, no, it's Mao Mao doing a Mao Mao thing that led her to protect herself. I like that a little bit better than just being, like, respected for her beauty now, even though that in itself could be interesting, I think. Either way, Mao Mao continuing to be just a little angel, apparently in the eyes of the other ladies-in-waiting, continues to gather their affections, I guess, right? Oh, she's put up with so much, and yet she's still so nice. No wonder the benevolent Jinshi looks after her. Now, it's a really small detail and a really quick detail here, but we mention a crimson dress. That is an element of conflict between, is it the virtuous and the pure consorts? I don't know the other one's name, the pure one. But the virtuous is Li Shu, right? So, one, the crimson dress we now know was a plant from her own people to make her more openly combative with everybody else, to increase the bullying, to make her feel worse, that kind of thing, right? And now we get to explain the dynamic between the pure and virtuous consorts as well, which indeed is a little bit complicated. I'm very happy we got the diagram here. This one here, right? So, okay, so the trick is going to be that these two are going to switch, right? So, okay, you have previous emperor, right? Implied to have died, probably of old age, relatively recently, right? Like within the past 5 years, I think we say something to that effect. he was pretty old, right? Cool. And this in itself goes to show, I guess, the the non-committal nature of the emperor and his relationships, right? So he had a child with you, right? Way earlier, because you're like, I don't know, 30 or something, right? Way earlier. Probably when you were very young, right? Makes sense. Cool. Emperor then grows up to be a big boy, right? And I'm not faithful to this woman that I've had a child with, that I've had a son with, right? I'm instead going to go after a little girl. I want a 9-year-old, actually. Please give me a 9-year-old. What are we doing? So you're a pedophile. That's awesome. And you're not far behind him, because then, okay, I'm going to take my dad's pedophile wife, like underage wife. I'm going to like take her and she's going to be one of my consorts as well. What? What do you... Anyway, it's fucking gross and weird. And hey, it is very complicated. Again, I'm very happy that we had the diagram here. So yeah, in reality, right, it's almost like that you're the mother-in-law, kind of, by two sets of law, if that makes any sense, by two marriages. Yeah, and there's the diagram switch in case you needed the visual. Just not good across the board, let's just say it, chat room. It's not good. It's not good gear. I don't like that. So this was a sticking point for me during the reaction. So we have Malmo here holding the baby, just chilling, that kind of vibe, right? And before I talk about the baby going missing, because that's, what I really wanted to talk about, but there's an interesting scene here. We have Lishu, right? The virtuous consort, of course, looking as bitchy as possible, like spoiled brat vibes, like not good. This is all set up. This is all projection. This isn't real. In reality, you're a pretty sympathetic figure, I feel, and we're going to learn that as we continue. I think, again, you're set up villainously early, only for that to be subverted. It's the Lady Lifa trick all over again, right? She seems like she's bad news. In reality, she's just kind of misunderstood, and it's a product of her environment that makes her act this way. I don't know. I like this trick. It gives characters depth. There's dimensions there. What you see is not what you get all the time. She's also literally 14. How many... Do you guys know any 14-year-old girls? Are they very nice? Generally not. But again, it's not their fault. I wouldn't want to be a 14-year-old girl either. Well, that's another nice link. Okay, so we have the daisies as well. They're white, right? The virtuous consort, generally associated with white as a color, virtue, white, that kind of thing. And we've set her up with this darker reddish gown, right? Clashes with the precious consort. Again, wanting to be antagonistic there, wanting to make her seem antagonistic, especially to us, especially to Mao Mao, who is associated with Gyokyo. Just again, there's lots of little clues early, you just gotta pay attention. And again, I fail at doing that every single week, right? Here's the scene, she has the baby, she walks over to these people, and now doesn't have the baby and instead has some pocket warmers. It makes it seem like she put the baby on the ground and went to grab the pocket warmers. It's not really what happened. I think she just passed the baby back through to the head lady in waiting. Either way, she's being a nice person. She goes over to Lifa's ladies in waiting and, offers some pocket warmers. Olive branch. I come in peace. However, they don't take the little branch there of peace because they think it's some kind of manipulation. I'd be scared of Mao Mao too. She's kind of scary. Now we meet our good friend. I think it's like Luhaku or something. You have a name. You're giving away... Okay, now that we've seen his tactic and what he's actually like, he's just horny. He's a fuckboy. He's giving out... Wait, what's the vibes? He's just swiping on everybody on Tinder, something like that. He doesn't care, he just wants pussy, which is fair enough. I understand where bro is coming from. So again, he walks up to Mao Mao, who's all glammed up at the moment, and just gives out a hairpin, right? I like this scene back here as well, where she just completely resists asking the question about what the hairpin's about. You clearly want to tell her what Jinshi meant by his hairpin, because you guys all know. And you just want to gossip and be yeah, great scene, love that. And again, you're like, oh, there's a hidden meaning. Oh, I guess I will take an extra hairpin. Why not? Even though it is obligatory, it's a participation medal, but why not take it? And in the end, it led to her being able to go on a little holiday, go back home for 3 days, which, hey, that seems pretty good. Just, yeah, I love Mau Mau's, again, nonchalantness about the whole thing. You could almost call it her running away. She's smart. She knows that it has an extra meaning there, but she doesn't want to consider it right now as well. Or she's just based and just doesn't know. Chad nonchalant Mau Mau. His characterization is very, very interesting very early. On his tippy toes here, leaning forward, wanting to give her the little branch as well. Lihaku is his name. There we go. We equate his character to a big dog. You could almost call him golden retriever vibes if you really wanted to. In reality, he's probably just a little bit more of a horn dog. Hey, it all works out in the end, I think. From there, we also get another hairpin, of course. We get one from Lady Lifa. Again, predicated on the actions of episode 4. You literally nurse me back to health. Thanks for that. That's awesome. It goes to show that, hey, the hairpins in question, they have more meanings than just romantic. So, hey, we got hairpins from 2 different boys, as well as a necklace from Gyokyo, of course. It's also a symbol of ownership. It's also like, hey, I want you. It shows demand for you, right? Again, when the men do it, specifically Lihaku, it's like, I want to have sex with you. Fair enough. When Jinshi does it, it's a little bit weird, because he's a eunuch, right? Does he like you romantically? Is there something else there? Does he want to recruit you? It's kind of halfway in between. You would think for Gyokyo and Lifa here, it's a little bit more just recruitment. I think you're an asset. I would like you on the team, essentially. We imply that that Gyokyo won't like this. Again, Mau Mau is an asset. Mau Mau is an asset that Gyokyo wants. She seems pretty shrewd. She won't like Lifa coming in on her territory like that. That hasn't played out yet, but keep that in mind. They're fighting over Mau Mau. Interestingly enough, Mau Mau seeks out Gao Shun in the crowd and notices that he's a higher up, or higher up than she thought. We say here specifically that people on the ends of the aisles is essentially a little bit more highfalutin than the other guys. They're a little bit more important. Oh no, it's the opposite. He's at the very edge. Okay, so no. If you're at the very edge, it's less good. I misread this line, right? He's at the very edge, but given his age, so despite that, he's, pretty good, because he's pretty young and he's among these high-ranking officers, Again, I just like that you're spying out Gao Shun. I kind of ship it. I've been implying that. Depending, of course, how old Gao Shun is. I don't want a crazy age gap there. I think somebody said that Mau Mau was 19, I think. So, again, consenting adults and all that, but, if he's like 35, it's a little bit weird. You mentioned that the glittering eunuch isn't there. You don't see him out there, but who cares? Who cares about that? You were still looking for him, though. That's all I'm trying to say. More importantly, here we have Mau Mau doing some more food tasting, of course, right? So we taste ours fine. We see no defects with the cup or the clouding of the drink or anything whatsoever. But we have this taster who's, I think you're the... What are you wearing? Hang on. I don't know whose taster that was, but I guess it goes to show that it's a life or death job. Again, if you're not as skilled as Mau Mau and you don't know it's poison, you could just be drinking poison and be about to die. Hence why she's so nervous about it, right? We also emphasize, like, you're talking about poison, but you look all blushy and, glossy lips and close up. You look like love struck at the idea of poison, which again... thematic stuff. You could talk about how that's interesting as well. Again, this will come back towards the very end of the episode, or a little bit later in this scene, I guess I should say, where she literally drinks poison and then looks like really love-struck about it, to the point where Lihaku notices this and comments on it. It's like, that's weird. Why did she look like that? Now, this is the interesting dish. This is the one that got swapped. Okay, so the Emperor likes this dish. It's some kind of like vinaigrette salad fish thing. Seems pretty nice. I don't know. Good food. Good gear. We like that. But it normally has fish in it. It's normally like a fish thing. This one in particular has korage. It's like, okay, well that's a little bit weird. Why am I getting this and not somebody else? Either way, seems like it's cooked well, isn't poison, all good. In particular, the Emperor's favorite ingredient is the fish. So, Lady Gyokyo in front of me, she has no allergies that I'm aware of. She'll eat whatever. So why would she get one with no fish? From here, we pan over to Lishu. She looks terrified, right? Hers has fish in it. We can see it here, a little bit of salmon, something like that. And she looks terrified about to eat it. However, custom says that she needs to eat, she needs to enjoy the meal, that kind of thing. She knows she's about to have an allergic reaction, but she has to eat it anyway. She's forced to. However, we turn our head back to her taster, right? She's got a little smirk on her face. She knows what's happened. She knows that the person in front of her, her consort, the person, she doesn't like very much, is eating something that's going to make her ill. I know your allergies. I'm going to force you to eat something with your allergies in it, right? And Mao Mao sees that and immediately thinks, I wish I hadn't seen that. Now I have evidence. Now I have something to say to potential investigators. Something may happen here. Blah, 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 blah. But unbeknownst to us right now, there's actually two plots going on. Because this meal here, which has also been swapped, remember, so Lishu was the target, that one's actually poison. It's like legitimately poison. It's not just allergy poison. It's not just anaphylaxis poison. It's literally poison. When the poisoning takes place, we kind of switch framing to Lihaku, right? Before focusing in on Mao Mao and her expressions. As I said before, she looks particularly love-struck. What's the wording here from his little mate? One of the food tasters is really excitable. Yeah, it's almost like they get horny over watching her eat. But no, in particular, there's a explicit focus on the lips and the blushing and the eyes and the sparkly sound in the music. It's almost like something really romantic is happening, something really sensual. But it's a poisoning. Again, there's that disconnect there. And again, the show is built around this contrast and this kind of theming. Again, take it to the nth degree however you want. It's extremely interesting, I think. Again, even back to that line in episode 3, if I could, bottle together love, if I could make like a love potion, right? What would it taste like, right? What would the ingredients be? All that kind of stuff. Thinking about it from that apothecary perspective. She looks love-struck right now. But in reality, it's just the nth degree of the apothecary stuff, I think. Again, there's a lot to read into that there. I think it's a very intriguing scene. And then, of course, locks the fuck in. This is poison. Somebody's been poisoned. And she seems pretty happy about it, I don't know. The quick pan we have to this taster as well, she's like, what the fuck? This wasn't part of the plan. And again, immediately becomes worried. Oh, somebody was like legitimately targeting my consort. Oh, fuck. Okay, because shit, right? I was just bullying her. Normal stuff. They actually wanted to kill her? What the fuck? Jinshi, interestingly enough, wasn't at this scene. He notices the commotion later on upon somebody tasting it and collapsing as well. They've knocked themselves out, essentially, right? And he's like, oh, some commotion has occurred. Some poisoning took place. I know that Mao Mao is a food taster. Where's Mao Mao? Sees her running away. Okay, better chase her down. So my question is, where the fuck was Jinshi? What was he doing? And again, there's two people absent, right? Jinshi and the Emperor's brother. Just keeping it in the head. I'm keeping it in the head, of course. Again, you swallowed poison, and yet you're still all smiles. You've even still got the cat ear thing going on here a little bit with the hair, which I like. Again, it's about the contrast, right? You literally just got poisoned. Any other person would be taken aback, but you're Mao Mao. You're used to this, right? You poison yourself, And now we turn up the romance a little bit, even almost shoujo in spots, right? Where we have the concerned Bishi guy looking after her and, even though she doesn't want it, showing concern, showing care for her well-being. It's not my thing, obviously, but I can see the merit there. Again, you could almost say subversive, right? This would be the normal scene where you would be love-struck by such a thing, right? In reality, you're more love-struck at the idea of drinking more and more poison. I would like to swallow more poison. She's a psychopath, but I see what we're playing at here, I guess. The difference in priorities, right? You turn around, you look at the love-struck Mao Mao. Instead of giving you a confession or anything, she asks for more of the soup to swallow. It's psychotic. But again, with purpose. Mao Mao here even goes as far to offer, I think there was something within her little compartment here. I don't know. Chicks put shit in their bras all the time. I don't know how that works. I'm not privy to that. But hey, the minister, he should cough up all this stuff. Give him this, he'll be alright. In reality, that's actually another poison you would be giving him to make him induce vomiting, which is, again, interesting. But here we notice the hairpin, a new hairpin. His collar is somewhat disheveled, maybe got in a bit of a scuffle, maybe got in a fight. Of course, Mao Mao's mind goes to the gutter. He's also normal. His normal glittery personality is gone as well. Again, Mao Mao's mind in the gutter. I don't think this is what occurred. I think something happened. maybe a scuffle, I think. Conversely, and this is an interesting discussion in contrast with a lot of the stuff about age within this episode as well, he looks older and younger at the same time, right? He's older because he's taking responsibility and being quite serious, but he looks younger at that same time. Mao Mao agrees that she prefers him like this somewhat. I think she likes somebody a little bit more self-serious to bounce off her wacky personality. Interesting. I don't know. If Jinshi got a little bit more serious, maybe he'd have a bit more of a shot. I don't know. To ensure Mao Mao's safety even more, we take her aside and make her vomit a couple more times. Great stuff. And she's all happy. She's had a chunky and she's feeling better. It's all good. And we're straight to business. Let's find out who is trying to poison Gyokyo. Let's bring in Lady Lishu. She's the one I want to talk to about this. Of course, Jinshi asked for her to show up, so she showed up immediately. She's an open book there, I think. Now, this is a fun little comedic scene where, Lady Lishu recognizes that, it's Mao Mao that wants to talk to her and not Jinshi, which is disappointing. I like your little reaction in the back. Again, it's almost like bit of schadenfreude from yourself, right? You're taking pleasure in somebody else's pain. You don't like her very much. We notice here that she's scratching her arm as well. Something, show me your arm, anaphylaxis, we'll bring it up. There we go. We bring it up immediately, actually. Now, allergies. Allergies is an interesting talking point in contrast with the poisoning stuff we've been talking about in the show, right? Because allergies are almost like a poison that is only effective against a single person, right? Whatever they're allergic to is only allergic to them, and it's a way to hide poison, essentially, right? Targeting somebody's anaphylaxis is tantamount to poisoning, right? If done purposefully, and I'm pretty sure this exists today, if you purposely try to make somebody have an allergic reaction, is it not... Can you not put them in prison? I think you can. I don't know how that works. We bring up buckwheat here as your specific one. I want to see that in kind of combination with the title of the next episode. I think it was something about wheat in there, actually. So, one to watch. Again, we're specifically bringing up buckwheat here as something that may impact later on. It made my throat shut tight. It made my arms swell up. It was, rashes. Normal allergy stuff, but again, we're only bringing it up so we can use it later on, I think. Again, I've already kind of explained this. The dishes got swapped. It was maliciousness from... I don't know if it was from yours truly. I think it actually was, but somebody didn't like Lishu very much and wanted to feed her fish. Again, you saw the mischievous smile from the lady-in-waiting behind her during the banquet. You know that she did this on purpose. You know that she's somewhat responsible. It would be tantamount to poisoning her, wanting to place the seriousness of this on her. It's not that she doesn't like fish, it's that it can lead to her dying. So again, the reactions from both Lishu and her food taster are very different here. Well, they're the same, but for different reasons. So they're both shocked and appalled that this happened, right? The taster in particular, because she didn't know how serious it was. She didn't know that this could literally lead to her death. She wasn't caught up on all the anaphylaxis stuff. Fair enough, it's like literally the 16th century or whatever we said, right? I guess she's also a little bit shooken around because, hey, if you put two and two together, if Gyokyo then got poisoned, somebody was targeting my lady-in-waiting. As much as I don't like her very much, I don't want her to die, right? I still don't want her to die. But again, Mao Mao sees through this and is obviously very stern and serious with the other food taster. Scaring her straight, essentially. I like that. Again, Jinshi saw that, puts a hand on the shoulder. What was that all about? Again, he's smarter than he looks, I think. He knows that there's extra layers to this conversation that he isn't privy to, right? But again, you play the class card immediately. I am of lowly birth, please don't touch me. When in reality, you just don't want him touching you, and you don't want to answer his questions. Again, as the scene continues, plain hard to get. She really doesn't want to get involved again. Classic Mao Mao, right? Wants to stick her head in the sand and not tell anybody the information that she knows. I'm smarter than I look, but I don't want to get involved. And again, now that we're doing origin stuff, now that we've gone back home by the end of episode 7, it'll be interesting to see how this attitude started, I think, right? What is this predicated on? Mao Mao finally has a moment here to herself. She's left the room. Lady Lishu isn't around, and she sighs and leans her back on the wall here. What a day. It didn't seem like it in the moment, but it was pretty full on for her, right? All this dressing up, all the different interactions, the poisoning, everything else. It really took it out of her. She was putting on airs, but now when she's by herself, she can actually think about what the fuck just went on. Gao Shun and Jinshi here imply that the wooden tablets from the other day may have been involved in this particular play as well. The lady in waiting who came in earlier had no burns on her. She probably isn't the one coordinating the poison themselves. There is another nefarious person somewhere that is doing the poisonings. And again, even rewatching the episode there, it went so quick, right? It went so very, very quick. How long did I record for? Pretty long, actually. So maybe less quick than I thought. But we really just don't have an answer yet. We don't even have a direction, I think. The only other person that... Again, there's a rivalry between the pure and virtuous consorts, right? I continue to... Our duo, something like that was her name. There's a rivalry there, of course, based on previous things, which was implied from the ladies in waiting before as well. But yeah, I don't really have it, unless it's from her camp. That's the only thing I could think of where these poisonings are coming from. Something Emperor's brother as well as another plot thread. But yeah, let's move on to the next episode. We start the next episode here with a flashback, a very, very young Mao Mao and the old apothecary man, Oyaji, and I guess just them kind of walking through. It's framed as a dream. In that way, I really like the background here as well, kind of foggy. You can't quite recall all the details. Again, we're showing this here because we reunite with Dad by the very end of the episode, of course. But again, there's more to this flashback. I wouldn't be surprised to see this dream continue into the next episode and beyond. With that dream, Mao Mao is wondering if her father is okay. I think we imply it's been 10 months, which is a pretty long time, right? So, again, he's an old guy. He probably doesn't have that long left. It'd be interesting, right? We'll see. We'll see what Dad's up to. Either way, that was a dream because she's been sent to bed, essentially, right? After the garden party, of course, the ladies in waiting of Lady Gyokyo like to dote over Mao Mao. And again, you literally got poisoned. You can't do any work today. You're literally bed rest. You have to. Which again is good advice. As much as you say you have resistance, you still need to sleep things off. And I think that's justified by the amount of sleep you have, right? You slept into midday, which always feels very good, of course. I don't know why I like this baby so much. I don't know what that says about me. Something about the character design. It's just adorable. I like the baby. I think the baby's good. Yeah, character design is strong. Everyone's just chill the next day. They don't really care. So this here, I like this as a move from Jinshi, right? I think he's recognized that he doesn't have much luck with Mao Mao. Mao Mao shuts up whenever he's around. Fair enough. So I'm just going to send in Gao Shun, and Gao Shun's going to try to get some information out of her. Mao Mao respects Gao Shun a little bit more, and he's less annoying to deal with. And less weird about it. So hey, as Mao Mao, I'm actually more inclined to tell him some information. I also like this from Gao Shun. He seemed bored, so I just asked him to start pulling up some weeds. So he's a high-ranking guy, of course, and Lady Gyokyo gets him to pull up weeds, right? Again, he seems reliable. Good bloke. He must be popular in his own way, right? Oh, look how, just handy he is. We also have Hongyang, who I believe is the chief lady in waiting here. She's sparkly-eyed as well. Is that in the face of Gao Shun? Maybe he's more popular. Our boy is more popular than we thought. Bear with me on this, right? We seem to be emphasizing Gao Shun's ranking a lot. He seems to be a high-ranking guy, yet he's subservient to Jinshi. What gives? What's Jinshi's role then, right? He seems to be a high-ranking guy, but Lady Gyokyo can tell him to pull weeds, and he'll pull weeds. Is he just reliable? Or do they have something on him? Is he being used? What's the go there? I don't know. We seem to be emphasizing it a lot, and I'm keeping an eye on it. See, this is good too. So Gao Shun brings the soup, right? And the bowl and everything, right? Some specific people touched it, and she basically gets some fingerprints on it a little bit later on. But he brought a prop, and that prop kind of prompted her to want to speak more, I think. I feel like this is Jinshi manipulation. Like, let's bring her something and it'll ignite her curiosity and she'll just spout stuff without thinking of the meaning behind it. She may give us some interesting information. She may not want to give the crucial evidence, but will make her give it through her own fascination. I think, yeah, smart. I like it. So Gao Shun in particular made sure that he didn't touch the bowl. That means that I guess we say 4 specific people would have touched the bowl, but never close to the rim because that's a faux pas. But there is one fingertip, or one fingerprint, I should say, that was close to the rim. And again, we like literally modern day fingerprint tested. We get cotton and some cotton powder and a brush. Yeah, through this scene, I think Mao Mao really shows her her usefulness, right? She's really handy. She knows how to do a lot of shit. And again, what's this predicated on? How did she learn all of this? Was it simply from being an apothecary and being around the Verdigris house and all that kind of stuff? Or was there something before that as well? We don't know. She's lived a long life, I think. Longer than it seems. Again, from displaying this evidence, Mao Mao is caught in a lie and has to reveal the information that she didn't choose to share before. That it was the result of bullying. They don't like Li Shu very much, right? That's why the taster's finger mark was on the high-ranking concubine's bowl. She like literally swapped them. She's the one that's responsible for the swappings, right? She likes to preface a lot of her things with, this is just conjecture, don't take this as fact, before spitting the most facts ever. This happened during episode 3 as well, when she was talking with Gyokyo about Fuyo? Yeah, Lady Fuyo, that was her name. Hey, this is the actual story behind the events. I'm revealing things. This is all conjecture though, but this is the truth. As I talked about in the previous episode, see, a lot of my analysis last episode was taking stuff from this episode and just saying it, so take that with a grain of salt, but this is the truth. Hey, let's give her a flashy dress that clashes with Gyokyo, so she looks like a buffoon that can't read the room, right? She looks stupid and combative and that kind of thing, right? When in reality, we're the ones that set her up to do that. We're a bit older, we're a bit wiser. She might not know all the faux pas. Yeah, we can see that now, I think. Not only that, but beyond that point, hey, there was the food swap there. You did that to harass her. We've been through that as well, I think. They don't like her very much, right? And I think we kind of give a reason to why this is happening. And again, the irony there for her, right, being that I literally swapped it with poison. She would have been poisoned otherwise, right? Which is kind of crazy. Why would they do such a thing? Well, Lady Li Shu became the previous emperor's concubine at a very young age, at age 9, of course. But then she left the rear palace. A wife must sacrifice everything to devote to her husband. We're all taught this from a very young age. I guess from that perspective, to wed her deceased husband's son. Okay, so not stay devoted to the husband's wishes and instead go for the son now. That's distasteful, right? But we're not seeing Li Shu's side of the story. Why is she doing this? Why does she feel the need to do this? And again, a person holding a similar grudge about such a thing, about now going after the son, going after the current emperor, was probably the one that left that fingertip, probably the one that did the poisoning. Keeping an eye on the emperor's brother, of course, I think. One more question here from Gao Shun, which is a very interesting one. Well, why didn't you tell us that yesterday? Why did you protect that taster, right? It was more to protect Li Shu, no? You don't want Li Shu to know that, everybody hates her, that all her people hate her, right? Well, no, it's a little bit out of self-preservation as well. The life of a lady in waiting, right, it's worthless compared to that of a concubine, right? Especially if that life belongs to a food taster. So almost as if you're, going out in sympathy with her. Hey, we're of a similar class. I don't really want you to die, right? Because if this is revealed, you would literally kill her, right? Okay, you're bullying the concubine, the consort, right? We're going to kill you. We're literally going to beat you with hammers. So, again, maybe just human preservation there, I think, and keeping it hush-hush between her and Gao Shun instead. It was also her own personal thanks to that taster, because if she didn't do the swap, then I wouldn't have had the chance to taste poison, because I'm a weirdo, because I'm Mao Mao, right? Gao Shun then presents this information to Jinshi, and his conclusion is this was clearly an inside job, right? And this has been Jinshi's task for a long time now. He hasn't stopped thinking about it. He's very tired as a result. He seems like he's overworked. Jinshi, stop. Your natural self is showing through. It's like, who cares? You're the only one here. Well, I am here. I'm still of formal importance, apparently. However, they don't show him any respect for our boy Gao Shun. Damn it. I guess it shows a level of familiarness as well. I'm allowed to be vulnerable in front of you, I'm not putting on the moves. This is another interesting one. It's not easy having someone look after you since you were born. Is that an implication between you two? Maybe? I don't know. Again, we bring up true status. What is Jinshi's true status? You forgot to take your hairpin out of your hair? Who is Jinshi? Who's Jinshi? Who is Jinshi? What is Jinshi? When is Jinshi? What? What is? He's a high-ranking guy and he's subservient to you. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? That's the intrigue here, right? Is again, no one's here except for the audience. We got to clue into this, right? We now have a little bit more knowledge about who you truly are. Again, this is only something that special individuals can wear, so please take care of it. Yeah, intriguing scene. Either way, now we just have Xiaolan looking adorable and eating stuff because you're giving her food again, which is cool. Yeah, look how excited she is about the hairpins. We love it. And again, this is some crucial knowledge. Now you can get out of the rear palace, right? At least for a few days. Again, I don't know what the hell a hawthorn is within this context. I just thought it was a suburb. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Essentially, hey, if you're a female worker, you can't go out to meet a guy just by yourself. That's not how this shit works. But you can go out from somebody that's also inside on a date, essentially, on a rendezvous. They can take you out, right? So from this piece of information, Mao Mao is now devising a plan to get herself out. She got 4 total hairpins, only 2 of which are from men, so that limits her options, of course. And again, you realize that you're annoying. You wouldn't want to go out on a 3-day rendezvous with old mate. Again, considering his obsession with you as well. You choose the other guy. Let's go for Lee Haku. Again, Lee Haku seems to be a pretty important military guy, and a lady from the rear palace sent for you, with one of the hairpins, of course. But again, these were consolation hairpins, participation awards, you were being a fuckboy, and she took you up on it, right? But if it's a pretty lady, why not? Let's have a look. And again, I only gave 1 hairpin at the Jade Pavilion. It was to the taster. I thought that she was the prettiest of them all. But she's also the weirdo that fucking smiled and looked weird after tasting poison. So maybe I should turn her down. She seems like a little bit much. This is reinforced, of course, when the very plain Mao Mao in her normal clothes comes out with the freckles and whatever else. She isn't dolled up anymore. Of course I want no part in this. Now you're just wasting my time. You're not even hot. I love Mao Mao's demeanor here. She's very matter of fact. It's like, huh? Who are you? It's like, I get that a lot. Again, she knows right now that she has all the power here, because she has the trump card by the very end. If anything, she knows how these guys work. Again, read into his vibe very early. He's very golden retriever. He's very horn dog. He'll fall for this hook, line, and sinker. Again, genuinely very humorous scene, I think. Again, Lee Haku here, driving a hard bargain. Mao Mao's about to come out with the trump card. And here it is. I love how the editing in the scene changes as well. It was very flat before. It was very, sterile. It seemed like an office almost, right? And then here come all these flower petals. The spotlight almost, right? Here's the best thing in the world. The thing that's going to break you out of your tedium, of course. 3 different sessions at Verdigris house. You get to go to the whorehouse, buddy. How exciting. Again, I'm really beating the drum on this one, right? But it's interesting that, they're called princesses at Verdigris house, right? Assigning them formality and royalty and that kind of thing, right? How different are they really from the consorts, from the concubines, right? Not even the high-ranking officials can afford these princesses at Verdigris house. Not even anybody can afford to be with the Emperor's concubines, right? Does it make sense? There's like an equalization there, I think. We're equating the two. To drive up the bargain even more, Mao Mao makes it clear that she has other contacts that she could offer these invitations to. In reality, these are from a guy that can't use his penis and a woman, but he doesn't know that. Lee Haku, again, is caught up in fake demand. If she has other higher ranking people that she can take this to, then I gotta take this chance now, right? If they outrank me, I gotta move quick, and then hook, line, and sinker, she gets what she wants. So Mao Mao gets what she wants, and the rest of the ladies in waiting continue to misread the room, right? They're like, oh my god, congratulations, you're like dating someone essentially. No. We not quite. That's not what we're doing. How are you being so casual about this? They can't understand why Mao Mao is being so casual about this. Just again, very humorous. And again, Gyokyo just laughing because she understands Jinshi and what he wants, right? Yeah, no. She's not picking up on that vibe. I'm pretty sure she has no idea what the hairpin means. Yep, I'm sure of it. I feel sorry for a certain someone. Oh no, poor Jinshi. So, here's another step to the equation, right? Gyokyo and Jinshi seem to be on good terms. It's almost like he's working for her at points. What does that mean about Gyokyo? If we're implying that Jinshi is really important, for whatever reason, right? Bastard son. I don't know what's going on, right? But, hey, he's really important. Why does Gyokyo have one over on him almost, right? Seems to have power over him, but seems to be jolly about it at the same time. What's going on there? And here we have Gyokyo having her fun, of course, and saying that she left with somebody. Jinshi's heartbroken. In reality, she's just away on a 3-day homecoming, of course. Old mate's very happy because he gets to, partake, let's say. They make their way to the pleasure district, to Vertigress house, a place where women are worshipped, of course. Oh, this is interesting. You're in the preview. Some of these maybe we're focusing on these characters in particular because they will be important as we continue. It's almost like we're introducing a new segment of the town and of the story. We meet up here with Grandma again, and then she fucking punches us in the fucking stomach. I have no idea why. Basically, she didn't call home or anything. I think that's why. You owe us money. I don't know. Granny greeted her with a fucking uppercut, which is fair enough. Either way, this is the good customer that Mao Mao mentioned in the letter that she sent. And Pyron's available, and then we ask about his arm muscles. So Pyron is implied to be really, really into muscles. Look at bro, he's pretty strong. But either way, now he's out of the question, we can start to ask some questions of Mao Mao. Why did you vanish for 10 whole months? I didn't vanish, I got kidnapped. I've been in the rear palace. And you should know that because that was in the letter that I sent. Mao Mao essentially gave her half of her pay for a while, I think, as well. Pyron's pretty expensive. If they just have tea, then that's fine. Idiot. Pyron won't leave those muscles alone. Of course she'll be all over him. Of course then you'll need to pay more for her service. You're pimping her out essentially. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Crazy times we have going on. But essentially you're paying half the wage, not to Pyron specifically and not to you specifically, but as more of a fee to get out, right? It's part of the process there. In that case, hey, Mao Mao, you need to bring more good customers. This won't pay for her enough. Would a eunuch suffice? Probably not quite. I don't think Gao Shun is the kind of guy that would partake. He seems to be way more interested in, I don't know, what's a boring hobby? Puzzles. He would do a lot of puzzles in his free time. He's not a freaky guy like that. Either way, we close out the episode with Mao Mao making her way more to the slums of the town, the lower socioeconomic areas where she lives, right? Look at these people. Living it up, of course. Things haven't changed. She makes her way to the apothecary's house. And yeah, she welcomes herself back in. Dad welcomes her back in. There's no big emotional moment or anything. It's just like, oh yeah, you were out for a while. That's weird. They chat up for a bit. But again, it doesn't seem like a big dramatic reunification. There's a weird vibe. I don't know what the dynamic is between you two, of course. But it's an interesting one for sure. The irony, of course, is, again, we've talked about the freckles and the freckles being a deterrent, right? Like, hey, I don't want to get kidnapped and sexually assaulted, essentially, so I make myself look more ugly. Fair enough. I was literally getting dyes for my freckles that day. So in order to prevent myself from getting kidnapped, putting the freckles on, I in turn was kidnapped. Again, there's an irony there, I think. Either way, it's comfy vibes, nice conversation. You say that, I'm only really out here for 2 more days. I still have time left on my term, of course. I can't come back immediately. And yeah, I finally go to sleep in my own bed. However, Dad here implies, after you're asleep, that the rear palace is a twist of fate, is what we say. So again, what does this imply? This implies that you've had, I guess, contact with the rear palace before. So now listen, it was either you that had contact with them for whatever reason, maybe a previous apothecary, whatever else, chose to leave the palace and so forth. Or potentially, your wife, Mao Mao's mother, was involved in the rear palace in the past as well. Maybe she had a term. Maybe things didn't quite go the way she thought they would. Maybe she died. Maybe she never left. Maybe she's still there somewhat. Maybe Mao Mao's mother is still around. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting one to follow. I don't know what the implication is of that last scene, but I think it's very, very interesting regardless. A lot of intrigue. I think that's what I'll end up titling this episode. Intrigue. It's Intrigue City. What's the go with Jinshi? What's this plot at play? What's the go with whatever the dad's implying there at the very end? What's the go with what we're implying by the preview at the very end of this, right? Let me get this episode title again. For the next episode. The next episode is called Wheat Stalks. What does that mean? We said we had an allergy to buckwheat. Is that involved? I don't know. I do not know, and I will not comment any further. Intrigue Central. I'm really loving the show, of course. Yeah. 2 more next week, unless somebody tells me some other stopping point stuff. So yeah. Patreon if you want to be 1 week ahead, of course. Discord. Like the damn video right now. And subscribe and all that stuff. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Ciao. Bye-bye.